Book of Enoch, banned from the Bible, reveals shocking secrets of our history. And then also, get ready for some wild stuff.
Yeah.
Ancient astronauts, giants, forbidden knowledge, you name it. We'll unpack the story of Enoch himself, his possible connection to the Sumerian myth of Adapa, and why this book, so important to early Christians, was ultimately left out of the Bible.
It really is fascinating how this book, even though it was excluded from the Bible, had such a big impact on early Christian thought.
Right.
Even today, it offers, like a unique and pretty compelling perspective on human history and our place in the cosmos.
Okay, so before we get into all that, let's start with the basics. Who is this Enoch guy?
Well, in the Bible, Enoch is kind of a mystery.
Right.
He's mentioned in Genesis, but there aren't a lot of details.
Right.
We know he's a descendant of Adam and Eve, their great-great-great-great-great-grandson to be exact, and Noah's great-grandfather.
Oh, wow, okay.
But what's really interesting is that Genesis only has this one, tantalizing line about him being taken away by God.
So right from the start, there's this sort of air of mystery surrounding him, right?
Exactly.
And that's where the Book of Enoch comes in, filling in the gaps.
Yeah.
And expanding on the biblical narrative.
That's right. The Book of Enoch is this collection of ancient texts that are, attributed to him.
Okay.
Though, who really wrote it is still debated.
Right.
It's divided into several sections. The Book of Watchers, the Parables, the Book of Heavenly Luminaries, the Book of Dreams, and the Epistle of Enoch.
Okay. And here's something that might surprise you.
Okay.
While it's not in the Hebrew Bible or most Christian Bibles,
Yeah.
the Book of Enoch is considered scripture by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
And get this, fragments of the Book of Enoch were also found among the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Oh, interesting.
This tells us that it was really important to certain Jewish communities in ancient times.
So this book was clearly considered significant in early religious traditions, right? Even if it didn't make it into the mainstream canon.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
What's captivating about the Book of Enoch is that it presents a worldview that's different from what we see in the traditional biblical narrative.
Okay.
It's full of angels, cosmic journeys, and a much more complex relationship between the divine and humanity.
One of the most mind-blowing ideas in the Book of Enoch has to be the Watchers.
Yes, the Watchers are totally central to the story.
Right.
They're described as beings from the sky.
Okay.
These celestial beings who interact with humans.
And their influence isn't always a good thing.
Right.
I mean, some of them teach humans, beneficial knowledge.
Yeah.
Like agriculture, metalworking, and even things like adornment.
But there's a darker side to their interaction with humans too. Some of the Watchers engage in these forbidden acts.
Like what?
Like interbreeding with human women.
Wow.
That's where the Nephilim come in.
Oh, okay.
These giants that are mentioned in the Bible.
Wait, giants. Now that's the story I want to hear more about.
Yeah, right.
It's interesting that this idea of beings from the sky interacting with humans pops up in other ancient myths too.
That's right.
Like the Sumerian Apkallu.
The Apkallu, yeah. These figures are described as part human, part aquatic beings.
Yes.
Who, much like the Watchers, imparted knowledge to early humans.
Okay.
And, it's not just Sumerian myths that have this theme.
Right.
You see similar stories about human extraterrestrial interaction in cultures all over the world.
That makes you wonder if there's something more to these stories, right?
For sure.
I mean, could they be based on actual encounters with beings from beyond our planet?
I mean, that's a question that's fascinated scholars and enthusiasts for centuries, Some even suggest that the rapid development of Sumerian civilization with their, advanced knowledge in astronomy, mathematics, and architecture might be attributed to extraterrestrial intervention.
Really?
Possibly even from these Apkallus.
Whoa, that's a bold claim. Is there any actual evidence beyond the myths themselves that, supports that theory?
Well, while it's mostly speculation at this point, the sudden, leap in Sumerian knowledge is certainly intriguing, What's fascinating is the Apkallus are even described in later Babylonian texts by the priest Berosus as these Oanias figures, linking the Sumerian myths to even older tradition.
Okay, so maybe we need to keep an open mind here.
Yeah.
Is also known for these vivid descriptions of Enoch's journeys through the cosmos.
Right.
Guided by the angel Uriel.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about those?
Yeah, Enoch's cosmic journeys are truly mind-bending. He's taken all over the cosmos,
Right.
Witnessing the workings of the heavens.
Yeah.
And the astronomical knowledge he's given is surprisingly advanced for its time. He describes the earth, moon, sun,
Okay.
and even eclipses with like remarkable detail.
Wow. It's almost as if he was like given a crash course in astronomy, right?
Exactly.
By someone with a far more advanced understanding of the universe.
Yeah.
You know, this idea of ancient people having sophisticated astronomical knowledge isn't just limited to the Book of Enoch either.
That's right.
Think about the Mayans, the Egyptians, even the Dogon tribe in Africa. They all possessed incredibly accurate astronomical information that seems to, defy conventional explanations.
It's as if there's like this hidden thread of advanced knowledge woven throughout ancient cultures. A thread that connects us to a past where humans may have had access to information that we're only just beginning to rediscover today.
That's a really interesting thought. This is where the story takes a fascinating turn. The Book of Enoch's theme of human extraterrestrial interaction echoes in another, perhaps unexpected tradition.
Right.
The African Mamiwata.
Yeah, the Mamiwata tradition is found in West Africa and parts of the Caribbean.
Okay.
It centers around stories of abductions by, these beautiful, often female aquatic beings.
Okay.
These beings are sometimes described as mermaids or sirens with, supernatural powers and a connection to the spirit world.
And these stories, just like the Book of Enoch, right, describe encounters that are both, fascinating and unsettling.
Right.
Didn't one of the sources mention a particularly captivating account from Ghana?
Yeah, the story of a young woman from Anloga, Ghana, who claimed to have been abducted by Mamiwata people.
Wow.
She was taken to, get this, an underwater base.
What?
And held captive for 3 years.
Wow, held captive. That sounds like something out of a movie.
Right.
What happened to her?
She claimed to have been forced to bear children for these Mamiwata people.
Wow.
This detail, this adds a whole other layer to the story. Like, was this some attempt at hybridization or even, genetic manipulation?
This story, along with the Book of Enoch and the Sumerian Apkalum myth, makes you wonder if unexplained events happening even today could be connected to these ancient narratives. Like, could some missing persons cases be linked to this?
It's a chilling thought, but, it's worth considering.
Right.
Thousands of people go missing each year.
Right.
Often without a trace, particularly in remote areas like national parks.
Right.
Is it possible that some of these disappearances are related to extraterrestrial abduction, as suggested by the Book of Enoch and Mamiwata stories?
Something to think about.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's address the elephant in the room for a minute. Why was the Book of Enoch excluded from the Bible?
Well, that's a question that's, puzzled scholars for centuries.
Yeah.
A prominent theory is that the book's portrayal of, multiple powerful beings, including fallen angels and giants, it clashed with the growing emphasis on monotheism.
Right.
In both Judaism and Christianity.
So you're saying that the idea of a single all-powerful God might have been undermined by the Book of Enoch's portrayal of other powerful entities.
Exactly. This kind of suggests a deliberate shift in how early religious authorities wanted people to perceive the divine, moving away from a more complex, perhaps even chaotic view of the heavenly realm.
It's as if they wanted to simplify the narrative.
Yeah.
Right. Focusing on a single God and, downplaying any potential rivals or complexities.
That's a really good way to put it.
Right.
The exclusion of the Book of Enoch reflects a shift towards a more centralized and singular understanding of the divine.
But even though it was excluded, right?
Yeah.
The Book of Enoch obviously had a lasting impact, especially on early Christian thought.
Absolutely. You can see its influence in various early Christian writings and beliefs.
Okay.
Particularly those surrounding angels, demons, and the concept of the apocalypse.
Oh, interesting.
Even early Christian visions of the afterlife were likely shaped by the book's, vivid descriptions of heaven and hell.
So even though it wasn't officially part of the Bible, its ideas still managed to weave themselves into the fabric of early Christian theology.
Yeah.
It's pretty remarkable when you think about it.
Yeah.
And its influence isn't limited to ancient times either, right?
That's right.
The Book of Enoch continues to fascinate people even today.
It does.
Especially as we grapple with questions about, the possibility of extraterrestrial life, ancient mysteries, and the nature of reality itself.
It's almost as if the book, with its blend of ancient wisdom and these, otherworldly encounters speaks to like a deep-seated curiosity within us, that ancient wisdom and these, otherworldly encounters speaks to like a deep-seated curiosity within us, that desire to explore the unknown and challenge conventional explanations.
And it also seems to have like this timeless message, right?
Yeah.
About the power and potential consequences of knowledge.
Right.
The Watchers, by sharing forbidden knowledge with humans, set off like this chain of events that ultimately led to, chaos and destruction.
Exactly.
It's almost like a cautionary tale. It reminds us that knowledge can be, a double-edged sword.
It can.
Even if it comes from like seemingly divine beings.
A distorted memory of actual encounters with beings from beyond our planet passed down through generations.
Right.
Or maybe it reflects our anxieties about the unknown, right?
Yeah.
The potential for forces beyond our control to influence our destiny.
What do you think?
It's hard to say for sure.
Right.
But the, psychological and cultural implications of these stories are certainly fascinating to consider. They are. But let's get back to the specifics of the Book of Enoch.
Okay.
It claims that the offspring of these unions between Watchers and human women were giants.
Right.
The Nephilim.
Right. The Nephilim. What can you tell us about them?
Well, the Book of Enoch describes these giants as like incredibly powerful and destructive, wreaking havoc on the earth.
Yeah.
According to the book, their existence is one of the primary reasons why God sent the Great Flood.
Oh, wow.
To, cleanse the earth of their corruption.
So these giants weren't just, tall tales.
Sure.
The Book of Enoch suggests they had a significant impact on the course of human history.
Absolutely. The book paints a rather bleak picture of the pre-flood world, a world consumed by, violence and lawlessness.
Right.
Because of the Nephilim. It's like a cautionary tale about the dangers of like unchecked power and the potential for even the most extraordinary beings to be corrupted.
That raises some questions about, the nature of good and evil.
It does.
Are these Watchers like inherently malevolent beings?
Right.
Or were they corrupted by their interactions with humanity?
It's a complex question.
It is.
And, the Book of Enoch doesn't offer like a simple answer.
Right.
It seems to suggest that the Watchers, while possessing, superior knowledge and abilities, aren't immune to temptation.
So even though they seem, divine or extraterrestrial, they're still subject to the same, flaws and weaknesses as humans.
In a way, yes.
Wow.
It makes their actions, more understandable, perhaps even tragic.
Yeah.
According to the Book of Enoch, their downfall is a consequence of their own choices.
Right.
Their inability to resist, the allure of forbidden knowledge.
Right.
And the temptations of the material world.
Must be used responsibly. Even those with, extraordinary abilities are accountable for their actions.
I think that's a key takeaway from this story.
It is.
It also, kind of highlights the interconnectedness of all beings. The choices of these Watchers, even if they were extraterrestrial, had, ripple effects that impacted all of humanity.
Wow.
Their actions ultimately led to a, cataclysmic event that reshaped the world.
It's mind-blowing to think about the implications.
It is.
The Book of Enoch's account of the Nephilim is definitely one of its, most thought-provoking elements.
Yeah.
It challenges us to consider the possibility that our ancient ancestors might have encountered, beings unlike anything we know today.
Right.
Beings whose actions had a huge impact on the course of human history.
That's true.
And it raises, uncomfortable questions about our own vulnerabilities.
It does.
Are we, susceptible to manipulation or corruption by forces that are, beyond our understanding?
Something to ponder, yeah.
It is.
But even with all this talk of giants and destruction,
the
Book of Enoch isn't like all doom and gloom. It also offers a glimmer of hope.
It does, okay.
Yeah, definitely. Despite the, bleakness of the pre-flood world, the Book of Enoch speaks of, a coming Messiah.
Okay.
A righteous ruler who will, restore order. And usher in a new era of peace and justice.
So even in the midst of all the chaos, there's a promise of redemption.
Yeah.
A belief that humanity can ultimately overcome its challenges.
Yeah.
And create a more just and harmonious world.
That's a theme that echoes throughout human history, right?
Yeah.
This belief that even in the darkest times, there's hope for a brighter future. It speaks to the resilience of the human spirit.
Right.
Our ability to learn from our mistakes.
Right.
And to strive for a better tomorrow.
It's interesting to think about how the Book of Enoch, even though it's, not officially part of the Bible,
has influenced, religious and cultural traditions throughout history.
Its influence is undeniable. You can see it in works of art, literature, music, from, medieval paintings to modern day films.
Right.
The Book of Enoch has captured people's imaginations for centuries,
Right.
inspiring them to explore like the boundaries of belief and to question, accepted narratives about history and reality.
It really speaks to the power of storytelling, right?
It does.
And our, enduring fascination with the mysteries of our past and the possibilities that lie beyond our current understanding.
Now let's talk about Enoch himself.
Okay.
He's not just a passive observer of these events.
Right.
He's an active participant in this, cosmic drama.
Yeah.
What do you make of his role in all of this?
He seems like more than just a witness.
Right.
Right. He's chosen to be like a messenger, a conduit for knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah. But who chose him? God.
Right.
These, extraterrestrial beings.
That's one of the intriguing things about the Book of Enoch,
Right.
It leaves room for interpretation.
It does.
But regardless of, who chose him, Enoch is given this glimpse behind the curtain. He gets to see how the cosmos works and interact with, beings of immense power and knowledge.
It's as if he's like, a cosmic explorer.
He is,
venturing into uncharted territory and bringing back these, incredible tales of wonder and revelation.
And his journey, as described in the book, isn't just a physical one.
Right.
It's a, spiritual and intellectual transformation. The knowledge he's exposed to changes his understanding of himself, of humanity, and of the universe itself.
It's almost like he's, going through an initiation. Right. A process of, enlightenment that prepares him for his role as, a messenger and a guide.
I think it's a fascinating idea.
Yeah.
And of course, his transformation isn't without its challenges.
Of course not.
He faces, temptations, doubts, even threats.
Right.
But he perseveres.
He does.
Driven by his thirst for knowledge and his commitment to, sharing what he learns with others.
He sounds like, a model of courage and determination, a testament to, the human spirit's potential to seek truth and overcome limitations. Like with the Watchers, they shared forbidden knowledge with humans.
Yeah.
And it had devastating consequences.
I mean, think about how rapidly technology is advancing.
Right.
Artificial intelligence, genetic engineering. These advancements are happening so quickly.
They are.
And we need to consider the ethical implications.
We do.
Are we prepared to handle the responsibility that comes with this knowledge?
The Book of Enoch seems to be saying that it's not enough to simply, acquire knowledge. We have to use it wisely and responsibly.
Exactly.
Before we move on, I wanted to go back to something you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
The connection between the Book of Enoch and the Sumerian myth of Adapa.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Sure. The parallels between Enoch and Adapa are fascinating.
Okay.
Both figures are portrayed as, wise sages who are granted access to divine knowledge and serve as, intermediaries between the human and celestial realms.
So they're both seekers of truth, individuals driven by this, desire to understand the mysteries of the universe and to share their insights with others.
Yes. And they both, face challenges and temptations along their journeys.
Right.
Ultimately demonstrating, the complexities of human nature.
Right.
And the need to balance knowledge, power, and responsibility.
It's as if they represent archetypal figures.
They do.
Embodying the human quest for knowledge.
Yeah.
And our, eternal struggle to reconcile our earthly existence with the vastness and mystery of the cosmos.
It's a story that transcends cultural boundaries.
It does.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's a reminder that despite our differences, we're all connected by our shared humanity.
We are.
And our quest for, meaning and understanding.
That's right.
And it suggests that there might be, universal truths, archetypal patterns that speak to the core of who we are.
That's a good point.
It's been complex and multi-layered tech.
It is.
That continues to challenge and intrigue us, centuries after it was written.
Yeah.
What stands out to you most from, what we've discussed so far? What questions are you left with?
Well, I think, it's a testament to the enduring power of ancient wisdom.
Okay.
Our endless fascination with the mysteries of the universe
Right.
and our place within it.
Right.
And it reminds us that even when faced with the unknown,
Yeah.
there's always hope, you know?
Yeah.
Always the potential for growth.
Now let's try to kind of bring it all together
All right.
and consider what this ancient text might, tell us about our own time
Yeah.
and our place in the cosmos.
You know, the Book of Enoch, despite being written so long ago,
Right.
offers insights that are surprisingly relevant to our modern world.
In what way?
Well, it speaks to, like our anxieties about the unknown, our fascination with the possibility of extraterrestrial life,
Right.
our concerns about the ethical implications of, advancing technology.
Yeah.
Like it's like this ancient text is holding up a mirror to our own time, right?
Yeah.
Reflecting back our hopes and fears and the big existential questions
Right.
that we're grappling with today.
Exactly. Think about the theme of human extraterrestrial interaction we've been discussing.
Right.
Our fascination with UFOs, alien abductions, the possibility of contact with extraterrestrial civilizations.
It makes you wonder if these modern day accounts are like a continuation of a pattern that's been going on for centuries. This ongoing interaction between humanity and beings from beyond our planet.
That's a thought-provoking idea, isn't it? It challenges us to, reconsider our assumptions about our place in the universe.
Yeah.
And the possibility that we might not be alone.
Right.
Usher in a new era of peace and justice.
That message of hope resonates with our own deep yearning,
Yeah.
for a better world.
Right.
A world free from, violence and injustice and the destruction of our environment.
It's a reminder that even when things seem, difficult,
Yeah.
we shouldn't give up hope.
We should.
We have the power to create a more just
And that we have a responsibility to, use our knowledge and abilities wisely.
Right.
For the benefit of all beings.
It's been an incredible journey exploring the Book of Enoch.
It has.
From, ancient Sumerian myths to those mysterious disappearances.
Right.
It's a book that raises more questions than it answers.
It challenges us to, reconsider our assumptions about the past, our place in the universe,
Right.
even the very nature of reality.
It's given us so much to think about.
It has.
Do you believe there's more to the Enoch story than we realize?
I think it's definitely possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there a connection between these ancient stories and what we see today with like the UFO phenomenon?
That's a fascinating possibility, isn't it?
It is.
There's always more to explore and discover.
There is.
And that's the beauty of it all.
Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep an open mind.